starts right now.
A rough night inside a family home has become a case for a team of investigators. San Antonio police trying to figure out what led to a shooting that put a man in the hospital.
It happened in a neighborhood not far from I-10 at Martin Luther King Drive. As Katrina Weber tells us, police have taken a woman into custody.
On a dead-end street, San Antonio police began their investigation of a shooting that happened in the middle of the night. They got the call after 4 this morning and found the victim at a home in the 500 block of Aurelia Street. Police say the 57-year-old who had been staying at the home suffered a gunshot wound to his groin. They believe a 23-year-old woman took aim at him there during an argument, then took off, walking away from the area. Police ended up finding that woman walking a few blocks away from here, and they took her into custody. They say they found the gun still here at the scene. As the man was being treated at a hospital, investigators gave the home a careful examination. They spent about an hour going through it for evidence. The man is expected to survive. Police still don't know exactly why he was shot, what turned an argument into an assault with a deadly weapon. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
An argument over damaged property at a school causing a chain of events that put an 11 and a 12-year-old boy in custody. The two boys were arrested over the weekend after they threatened to bring guns to a southwest Bexar County school. In a Facebook post, BCSO said the 12-year-old boy showed his classmate a video of him holding a gun, as well as video of another person shooting the same gun. And at the same time, the sheriff's office says the boys threatened to shoot up the school and said they'd bring the gun to school. Both preteens were charged with terroristic threat to cause fear of imminent serious bodily injury.
Get outside with live cam. Boy, the humidity is back. It's 72. It's cloudy, and it's just like hanging right there for you.
Well, the good news is we'll get rid of it on Friday, but we got to wait another day or so here before we get some drier air in here. It is humid. It has been sticky. It's been drizzly. We've gotten rid of most of the drizzle, but the clouds are still with us. So let's look at the satellite picture, and you'll see it is cloudy for most of the area, although breaks beginning to show up in Carrizo Springs. Up near Rock Springs, the sun is out. Pleasanton may start to see a few breaks here soon, and you can see the clouds in general are starting to thin some as we head into the afternoon, and I think we'll see that more today. So with the sun out this afternoon, we should get temperatures up close to 80. We're already at 72 here in town, 76 Pleasanton, and where the sun is out, near 80 in Carrizo Springs and Cotulla, 73 and cloudy right now in Del Rio. Around Bexar County, low 70s, low to mid 70s, but you'll see these numbers jump up a little bit quicker here over the next couple of hours. And there's another look outside. Cloudy and 72. Dew point is at 66, so yes, the humidity is still there, and that continues to stream in on southerly winds. 80 are high around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then tonight, as we've been doing it, clouds fill back in, and then some drizzle returns by tomorrow morning. It is tomorrow late when we start to see some of those changes, some storms out across the hill country. Maybe a few showers and storms here in San Antonio before we clear out with some beautiful weather over the weekend. More on that in just a few minutes.
We will look forward to that. Thank you, Justin. New at noon, the smell of smoke serving as a wake-up call for a mother on the northeast side. Crews say a fire broke out in her bathroom. Firefighters were called to the 4100 block of Moana this morning. That's near Eisenhower Road and Loop 410. Crews able to keep the fire contained to just that bathroom and knock the flames out. The mother was home with her daughter. They both made it out safely. No one was hurt. It is not clear what caused that fire, though.
And we have a correction to report. We incorrectly identified a man killed after a vehicle hit him in Schertz.
We do not know his name at this time, but the medical examiner's office does say he is in his 30s. Police previously told us the victim was walking when a driver hit him. It's happening Monday morning on Farm Road 1518 North near a street called Hollering Vine.
Officers tell us the driver did not see the victim until it was too late. The driver did stop to help, so police will not be charging that person.
The effort to open the Uvalde School District's next elementary school moving forward. Community members got together last night and shared their thoughts on the school's location and design. The Uvalde CISD Moving Forward Foundation is raising money for the project. Its leadership says the victims' families are also involved in the process.
So there are continued conversations happening about the ways that we can best honor the lives lost in a way that celebrates their lives.
The two-story building would serve grades 2 through 4. The design is scheduled to go to the Uvalde School Board for approval next month.
San Antonio City Council finding itself in a fight over dogs today. They're going to be tackling these issues after the city faced that deadly dog attack that killed an elderly man. Mayor Ron Nirenberg says today during city council they're going to be hearing about a comprehensive plan from Animal Care Services, which could soon be changing who faces criminal charges in cases like these. Prior to this, ACS says that it treats these matters as civil cases only. The mayor says the city needs to find resources to address the problem of loose and dangerous dogs. We're going to be at City Council today. We'll bring you the latest in our later newscasts and on KSAT12, of course.
Now to the latest on former President Donald Trump, who could potentially be indicted on the Manhattan DA's criminal investigation into hush money payments made to porn actress Stormy Daniels, but not today. The grand jury did not meet today. They usually meet on Wednesday. They were told to be on standby for tomorrow, Thursday, another day when they usually meet. No word on why the meeting was canceled today. The move indicates a vote on whether or not to indict Trump will be delayed. Regardless, many Republicans are coming to Trump's defense, including former Vice President Mike Pence.
Appears to me to be a politically motivated prosecution. But I think letting our voices be heard in other ways and not engaging in protests, I think is most prudent at this time.
Meanwhile, a separate federal investigation, ABC News reporting that sources tell them a federal judge has determined that there is compelling preliminary evidence that Trump broke the law. This is in relation to special counsel's investigation of Trump's handling of classified documents. That judge has ordered his lawyers to testify despite their claims of attorney-client privilege. This does not mean the former president is guilty or that he'll be charged with anything. The Spurs sit a few of their stars, who and why, and what it cost them. Coming up.
A new warning after a spike in suspected criminals impersonating delivery workers. How you need to take caution.
The CDC says 2 more deaths have been linked to a rare bacteria found in recalled eye drops. It brings the total number of deaths to 3.
There have also been cases of vision loss and surgical removal of eyeballs. Global Pharma Healthcare's artificial tears lubricant eye drops were first recalled back in February. A rare strain of drug-resistant bacteria was found in these drops. It had never before been reported in the U.S.
The CDC says at least 68 patients in 16 states have been infected. Most patients infected reported using EzraCare artificial tears, but some reported using different brands.
These days, you can have just about anything delivered to your door, but that convenience could now come at a price.
Crooks now taking advantage and impersonating delivery drivers. ABC's Becky Worley with what you need to know to protect yourself.
This morning, a criminal fake out of something we see daily, food delivered to the front door. But the homeowners say they didn't order food. The deceptive delivery late at night, a distraction. Watch as a crew of 4 hooded men simultaneously try to enter the house from the backyard. It happened in Texas while the homeowners were in the house, fast asleep.
I heard a noise. It sounded almost like metal clinking. I woke up because of that noise.
The homeowner says she didn't open the door, and through good fortune, the alleged thieves weren't able to break in. But
whoever those people are, they've taken our peace, our sense of security.
Now authorities urging extra caution amid a recent uptick in suspected criminals impersonating delivery drivers. In California, watch as this man approaches a home appearing to make an Amazon delivery, wearing the vest, package in hand. He knocks, but when no one answers, 3 alleged accomplices run from a nearby car using a crowbar to break in, stealing jewelry and valuables.
It's been hard. It's even a little sound. I wonder, are they back?
This crew allegedly repeating the actions in other neighborhoods. And the woman from the first house who wasn't home at the time says without seeing this ruse on tape, she may have opened the door.
They literally look like an Amazon driver. I think about the community and, elderly people who just aren't thinking about it and innocently open the door.
Amazon telling us these individuals are not Amazon delivery partners. They're impersonators committing crimes against members of the community. DoorDash reiterating the same message, and along with Amazon saying they will assist law enforcement to ensure bad actors are held accountable.
That was ABC's Becky Worley.
So I guess it's rinse and repeat on the weather today.
Sure feels like it. We didn't have as much drizzle this morning as we did yesterday, but still kind of just damp and misty outside. We'll see another morning of that tomorrow before things finally change some. The aquifer has responded some, so this is good. It's up 6 tenths of a foot to 636. Even in your pollen count, mold's jumped up because it has been so damp. Those numbers jumped up into the moderate category. Oak is moderate at 360. Hackberry and mulberry also there. We'll take a look at the weekend forecast. It does include some pretty big changes. That's coming up.
Checked the rain gauge when I got home last night. Need a magnifying glass. There's like nothing in it. Like
we got a little bit of rain at our house. You're just on the wrong side of town.
I guess so. Something's wrong.
I'm by the airport, so when you tell me what the airport registered, it's the same.
Yeah, yesterday we picked up almost a quarter of an inch of drizzle, which is kind of weird, but it was a consistent drizzle. Still not enough rain though, because you look at these numbers. These are the kind of numbers that really do astound me. So it has been 48 days since we've had a half an inch or more at the airport. Okay, fine, we can deal with that. Last time was on February 1st. But the last time we had an inch or more of rain at the airport, it has now been 209 days. You got to go back to August of last year, and this is the huge number. How long has it been since we've had 2 inches or more at San Antonio International? 524 days. October 13th, 2021 was the last time we had a big rainfall, at least in that 24-hour period at the airport. So we've had some rain, and we've had times where we've had some showers and storms. It just hasn't been enough. We're still very much in a drought, and we've still got a big hole to dig out of. Now, this is not the longest stretch of 2 inches or less. You've got to go back to the 50s for that. But we're closing in, and we keep adding to that. And here's a look at the month of March. And so we have had days where we've had some rainfall here, a trace here, there, maybe a quarter of an inch, but it just hasn't added up to enough. We are at 1.12 for the month. We are below average by about half an inch. There is some in the forecast, but not great odds. I'd say Friday morning, we may have a few showers and storms. Otherwise, just some drizzle and sprinkles today and tomorrow. And then more opportunities maybe Monday and Tuesday, but none of it looks very heavy. So we're just kind of in this holding pattern. At least we're getting a little bit here and there. 72 right now, cloudy. Dew point is at 66. Southerly winds at about 13 miles per hour. And as we look at the satellite picture, lots of clouds, but they are beginning to scatter out. Give it a couple more hours here, and San Antonio should start to see some peaks of sun. We saw it yesterday briefly during the evening time. 72 right now. It is up to 80 in Cotulla where the sun is out. 79 in Carrizo Springs also seeing the sun there, but most of Bexar County is within the cloud cover with temperatures in the mid-70s. Our forecast today, 77 at 2 o'clock, 79 3 p.m. We toss it up to, or make it up to 80 or so by the afternoon, 78 at 6 o'clock, and then into the mid-70s by this evening. Clouds start to fill back in, and we'll get some showers and light showers, maybe some drizzle redeveloping by tomorrow morning. We'll be in the same situation again tomorrow. Here's the big picture, and you see all the clouds that are have set up here from San Antonio up to Dallas. That's within a very humid air mass. And then as you go west, it has just been unrelenting, the weather in California. They continue to get waves of rain and snow, but some of that energy is going to make its way towards Texas. And as we look at our forecast, we're hoping for some showers Friday morning. So nothing this afternoon, just partly cloudy skies once the clouds break up some. And then tomorrow morning, cloudy. A little bit of drizzle here and there, and then by the afternoon, clouds go away again. Tomorrow's going to be a hot day. We'll see temperatures into the upper 80s, maybe even near 90 in some cases. Then we turn our attention to the north and west. So this is Friday at midnight. We start to see some storms developing up across central Texas. They make their way into the hill country. At this point, we could see some severe weather out of this. So places like Leakey, Kerrville, we'll be keeping an eye on that. But this is pre-dawn on Friday. Then the storms kind of fall apart. They're limping into San Antonio by Friday morning. Around 10 o'clock, maybe a few showers, maybe a storm. But the timing isn't great. And these quickly move east by midday, and then dry air works in. And Friday afternoon should be really nice. So should Friday evening and Saturday for that matter. As we look at the risk for severe weather, Thursday evening on a scale of 1 to 5, about a 2 out west. So if you're watching from, say, northwest of Kerrville or parts of Uvalde County, there's a slightly higher risk for some severe weather, and just isolated for Kerrville, Bandera, and Uvalde. San Antonio's not included in that. As we showed you, the storms probably weaken by the time they make it here. But once they move past us on Friday, there is going to be a pretty significant severe weather outbreak, I think, across parts of Louisiana and Mississippi. So we kind of just miss out. That's been the case for what feels like a long time now. And the dew point trend, well, we have humid conditions before that front comes through, and then it dries out Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday. It's Monday when the humidity really starts to kick back in. So 87 tomorrow, 84 on Friday with some morning showers, 81 Saturday, 82 Sunday. Beautiful weekend. And then we'll add in some rain chances Monday and Tuesday as another front heads our way and cools us down for early next week.
Looks good. Thanks, Justin.
And coming up, we're going to hear from a very excited new receiver for the Dallas Cowboys and several Roadrunners spending the day trying to show what they can do at the next level. And the Spurs starting a 4-game road trip in New Orleans. The Pelicans having a Mardi Gras at the Spurs' expense. First quarter, Sandro Mamukelashvili finishing off the alley-oop. Ooh, that's nice. Off the glass. He's got an inside game and he's got an outside game. There he is outside. Look at this. Got that. Big three. Spurs up 14-13. He had 9 points in the first quarter, 20 for the game. Pelicans up 27-16. Second quarter, Mamu drives. Left-handed. 3-point play. Spurs are down 16, though. Closing second, C.J. McCollum pokes the ball away and then buries a three at the other end for the final points of the half. Pelicans led halftime 64-39. Third quarter, Trey Jones has got the ball, splits two defenders, scores a lefty layup. And then here comes rookie Blake Wesley, who picks off the pass, and he's going in for the big rookie slam dunk. Beat the buzzer right there, just barely. Pelicans led after three, 91-65. Fourth frame, Doug McDermott banks in a three. He got a little smile on his face because he didn't call glass. Take it any way you can get it these days. Spurs played without Zach Collins, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, and Devin Vassell. Oh, what it showed. Pelicans rolled 119-84. The Spurs will play at the Bucks tonight at 7. Milwaukee is number 1 in the NBA. He is a 10-year veteran with a lot of experience with different teams. Wide receiver Brandon Cooks will suit up for his 4th team now. After the Texans traded him to the Cowboys, he's also played for the Saints and the Rams. Talk about excited to be traded, though. He spent 3 losing seasons in Houston. He is pumped about joining the Cowboys and catches passes from Dak Prescott. Prescott, a quarterback he's heard nothing but good things about.
His mindset that he brings to the game, you hear how his approach, his work ethic, and the leader that he is, and his story, really, his perseverance, the way that he bounces back, throughout his career. I think when you got a mindset like that at quarterback, it takes you a long way. And so I'm looking forward to having a leader like that.
With Zeke gone, the boys signed running back Ronald Jones to a 1-year deal. He's 25, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Bucks and the Chiefs. Maybe he'll get another. UTSA Roadrunners holding their spring camp now that spring break is over. The NCAA says they get 15 total spring sessions. Today there's no practice because UTSA is going to be busy hosting Pro Day. 11 guys with dreams of going to the next level will be there showing off their skills.
I'm really proud of those 11 guys. I mean, they really helped put us on the map, and we're excited for them. It's what every kid dreams of. And we can all say that they're all here to get an education and all that kind of good stuff, which they are. There's no doubt that degree is what's most important. But, man, you can't take that dream away from a kid.
Some of the players include Trevin Harmonson, Corey Mayfield Jr., and Dadrian Taylor. The University Incarnate Word is going to be holding its pro day today as well at Benson Stadium. Among the Cardinals on hand will be receivers Taylor Grimes and Darian Chafin, 2 of the best in the nation. UIW football tweeted the names of 19 players expected to be at their pro day. Good luck to all of them.
Absolutely. For the first time since the 1970s, countries are coming together and they're talking about clean water and how to make sure people everywhere have access to it. Why experts say the widespread issue is going to get worse if something isn't done about it now.
A newly released video shows the events that led up to Irvo Oriento's death at a Virginia State hospital. He died after a second physical encounter.
Lindsay Watts with ABC on how prosecutors charged 7 deputies and 3 hospital workers with murder.
ABC News has obtained new video showing what happened when Ivo Otieno was still in jail just prior to being transported to the Virginia Psychiatric Hospital, where he later died. Deputies gather outside his cell at the Henrico County Jail. After several minutes, they rush inside. Prosecutors claim deputies beat and pepper sprayed Otieno as he was sitting by himself. One deputy appears to strike Otieno several times before dragging him from his cell. Deputies struggle to put him in a white transport van, and he's eventually forced into the back of a police SUV. Otieno was then taken to a mental hospital where prosecutors allege he can be seen being smothered to death in this disturbing surveillance video.
My best friend is not around for me to talk to.
Family members are devastated and demanding accountability.
To see these 9 men and a woman literally squeeze the breath out of my child was heartbreaking.
A 911 call indicates the hospital reported a cardiac arrest, and prosecutors suggest the call was made hours after Otieno was already dead.
Emergency is here at Central State Hospital.
For
20 minutes ago. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. We have medics en route.
7 deputies and 3 hospital workers have been charged with second-degree murder. An attorney for one of the deputies says his client did nothing to stop Otieno from breathing.
At no time did he have any contact with his upper body.
Prosecutors say after Otieno died, his body was moved and handcuffs were taken off of him and cleaned before state police were called. They also say that none of the deputies arrested made truthful statements about what happened. Prosecutors say more charges could be coming. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
There's new evidence that seems to support the theory that the coronavirus was first spread among animals. An analysis by the international team of researchers suggests animals susceptible to the virus were at a wet market in Wuhan, China. The team analyzed genomic data at the market back in 2020. They say some DNA animal samples tested positive for species known for infections. And the researchers call this as evidence that live animals traded at the markets could have passed the virus to humans. Some of those animals include red foxes, rabbits, cats, and dogs.
The U.S. flying drones farther south over the Black Sea after a Russian jet crashed into one of them last week. The drones were flying in international airspace, but since the collision of the MQ-9 Reaper drone, the U.S. decided to move their flights farther from the Korean Peninsula and eastern portions of the Black Sea. An official states the decision was made as an effort to avoid being too provocative, unquote, as the Biden administration takes caution to avoid a conflict between the U.S. and Russia.
Outside with live cam, still humid, still very cloudy. You know, it would be nice if we could at least get a little squeeze of rain out of all this, you know.
That's the thing. If we're going to have this much humidity, let's turn it into some rainfall that we can use. Let's green up our lawns and all that fun stuff. But it is really not in the cards. We have some chances, I think, coming up Friday morning, but they're not great. In fact, the models are kind of backing off of the idea of any sort of good, significant rain. Let me show you temperatures across the state. It's warm everywhere you go. 77 in Wichita Falls, 79 in Dallas. We've got 80s down in South Texas. The humidity is spread across much of the state, and we're definitely in the warm part of the country. As you look at the big picture here, there's some cold stuff up north, 30 in Casper, 22 Bismarck. You can kind of see the clash here, the air masses where it meets right there in the middle part of the country, cold to the north, warm to the south. And we're going to be in the warm air for a couple more days. Even with a front coming through on Friday, it's still going to be warm as we just get a shot of dry air, not really cold air. Looking at the satellite picture, mostly cloudy, but the breaks are starting to show up here in these clouds. This whole cloud deck starting to shrink a little bit. Here's a look at our forecast for today. 77 by 2 o'clock. We'll still call it cloudy, but I think the sun begins to pop out by 3 o'clock. 79, 80 are high, and then into the upper 70s this evening with partly cloudy conditions. But the clouds will fill back in tonight, and we'll do that whole drizzle thing again tomorrow morning. Plus, we'll talk more about that rain chance, too, coming up Friday morning. We'll time it out for you here in just a few minutes.
Justin. Gwyneth Paltrow is on trial. It's for an accident that happened 7 years ago. Why lawyers accuse her of being reckless.
You and me to discuss an issue that hadn't been talked about since the 70s. Their conference might dictate the future of water conservation.
Students with different opinions made their voices heard as drag shows were criticized by their university's president. What school it is and how the campus is affected.